do a little live stream tonight. let's let's talk about calls. You know, as you can see, the hat is turned around backwards, but we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it chill tonight. We're not gonna go crazy. But there is something that I want to talk about. Let me get this chat pulled up here, if I can even find it. Let's see, where can we go? So, wait for everybody to get in here. And my own chat's not pulling up. Imagine that. So, talk a little bit tonight. Not anything crazy, but let's get this pulled up real quick. What's going on, Coyote Racing Channel? Handling Motorsports in the house. We got Whitetail Fox, Dirt Tracks in the house. Zach, Murphy's Law. We got Shay. We got Ford Matt. What's up? Ford Matt, I think I owe you a hat. I think you were the one who won the hat, by the way. So we're going to get you sent out. Also, Damon, that won the camshaft, you need to email us. If not, we'll search through and try to get your email address and send something out to you. But tonight, I want to talk about something that's extremely important. And it's not necessarily a church video, but it is going to be inspirational for this reason. Mainly because people love to beat you down, right? People love to beat me down, you down. It makes them feel better about their shitty ass selves, I guess. So I constantly get hate and things like that on the channel. And, you know, typically it doesn't bother me, but occasionally I read comments that really infuriate me. And you have to you have to dig deep and say, hey, are these true? And I think everybody needs to do that. You know, you need to self-analyze and say, all right, well, that's a pretty hateful comment, but is it true? Sometimes they are. And if they are, then you probably need to make a change. All right. But sometimes you get comments that are just so far off the rails that you feel like you want to prove something to somebody, right? You want to prove them wrong. And here's where I'm going with it. On my channel, I have done nothing but try to help people, right? But throughout the years, there are plenty of people out there that absolutely hate what it is that I do. They either just hate the way I look, they hate the way I speak, they just hate me, right? And there's people out there that hate you as well. And no matter what, and no matter how hard you try, sometimes it gets to you. So I read through these hateful comments, and occasionally some of them get to me. I had one earlier that really, my blood pressure went up. I could feel it. it was weird because I was like, what the hell is wrong with me right now? Like, why am I so pissed? Like I could feel it in my face. And it was something along the line. It was the video where we were working on Berger's car. And I pinned the comment if you guys want to go read it. But it's stuff like that. It's basically saying, you know, you need to call your channel brutal rather than brutal, you know, brutal, because it's brutal to watch. You know, you're basically incompetent and you don't know what you're talking about. Why are you trying to tell people what to do and help them? And that comment really got under my skin. And it got under my skin because I know how hard I've worked to try to put out good content for you guys and help you. But here's the reality of it. Along the way, we're going to mess up, right? We're going to fail at what we're trying to do in life. And it's okay. You know, I'm not saying that I'm an expert on everything, but here's my thing. If you've got a recipe for something, and maybe your recipe is a little different than everybody else's, but it's been proven to work, then that's a good recipe. And I suggest you share that with others. If results are results, right? So as I'm reading these comments, you know, it really bothers me because I've really tried to be a good person, a helpful person, and have a channel that people can learn from. And sometimes it's, you know, it probably doesn't come across that way. And I'm very unorthodox about the way I do things. I'm fully aware of that. So it makes me wonder, you know, am I doing the right thing? Because I'm not an expert. You know, I go around my elbow to get to my asshole to do things, but I know they work, right? we've had a pretty good track record on this channel of not, being successful with cars. We have blown up two recently. Berger's car, because the damn floor mat got stuck, and once again we didn't lower the rev limiter. His car come apart. We didn't build that engine in that car, by the way, but that thing probably would have lasted a pretty good while, if not. And then it seems like almost exactly a year later, we blow up the Gray Ghost. That was just stupidity on my part. I'm not gonna lie to you. I should have not went out there with the engine cold like that and let it heat up a little bit more before I beat on it. Plus, we were running too thick of an oil in it, I found. So, it happens, right? But here's my point. You start to, as you can see what I'm doing, you start to second guess yourself, right? When you hear people say these things to you and you read these nasty comments, you start to self-doubt. Here's my thing. Jesse, thank you. Thank you, everybody who is stepping up with the super chats. I appreciate that. Jesse, you've already sent, you don't have to do that, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. So basically he says we're all learning. We don't know everything, and we don't know everything. I don't know everything. But if you listen to these people who try to drag you down, you're never going to feel adequate. And it's a hard thing to do because you're not the best. You're still learning. And when people call you out on this type stuff, it affects you. So here's kind of what I noticed today with me. It really pissed me off and it upset me. And I know better, right? I know I shouldn't care what people think. But when you try really hard to do something and then somebody comes out and they hit you with a comment like that, it can upset you, right? And you think, well, damn, man, I'm really trying to do the right thing. No, I'm not perfect. So I think it causes self-doubt for sure. And you start to question yourself whether you're good enough or not because you don't know everything. But here's the thing. You don't have to know everything because nobody does. And these jackasses that like to call people out and like to put you down for doing it the way you do it probably don't know what they're doing either, right? Here's what I'll say. We've got a body of work on the channel that I think you can look at and you can say is somewhat proven, right? There's better ways of going about, doing things that we do. But also at the same time, we get things done in an unorthodox way, which I've always told you guys, I'm going to show you a different way of doing things. So I think that's kind of what this is, what this channel is. It's like, I'm about to do some stuff on the Calypso. We're going to do some paint work on it. And I know people, and I know to do what needs to be done to this car, to fix what I got to fix on it. I think a lot of people would look for a body shop to go take their car to and go get fixed. Look, I'm telling you, you can absolutely fix these cars on your own. You can do your own paint work. Now, it's going to take a little bit of money to be able to get the tools and the equipment that you need, but it's also going to take a little bit of money, or actually a lot of money, to go take it to the body shop to go get it fixed, right? Your first time an overall paint job, something like that, may not be what you need to be doing. That may be a little too much to handle, right? But if you're just having to do a panel or a piece or some ground effects or something like that, I highly suggest this be a good spot for you to learn, right? So I want you guys to try to do things and don't worry about what other people tell you. There's always people out there who are haters. They're professional haters. This is what they do. Look, I'm just like you guys. I'm exactly the same as you. I'm human. I get pissed off. And you can piss me off with your words, right? There's certain things you can say. I got triggers just like everybody else. There's certain things that absolutely can set me off. And it's stuff like that. When people make comments, when we're trying to help people, you want to know why it makes me mad? This may blow your mind. You may think, nah, this is it. What makes me mad is the fact that someone's going to come and read this comment and think that I don't know what I'm doing. So they're going to listen to this guy and they're going to leave thinking this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I'm not going to listen to him. Look, this guy just called him out and said, you don't know what you're doing. And you get a couple of those comments, right? And now nobody wants to trust you. That is human nature. Well, that's the internet nowadays. That's what we have to deal with. So it only takes one or two detractors before next thing you know, nobody believes you, nobody trusts you. And my whole channel was built on the fact of, trying to help people. And when I see people come in like this and they try to deter people, others, from doing their own work and from doing it maybe the way that I do it, it upsets me. So here's what I'm saying. So the title of this live stream really, what it means is you can do more, but you got to stop listening to everybody else. You got to stop listening to all the negative stuff, because you are your own problem, because you let people get into your own head, get into your head and talk crap, right? You can do so much more on your own. You got to have a little bit of faith. I say this so much. The internet is a great place, and the internet's also a very bad place. It's a dark place. You can't wear your feelings on your sleeve. You can. But at the same time, it's going to get under your skin at some point. You got to take the good with the bad with this stuff, okay? Some of you guys can do so much more than what you're doing right now, but you've been led to believe that you can. People love to tell you, no, you can't do it that way. Bullshit. I think I've proven that you can do it 10 different ways. You can paint a car 10 different ways. You can build an engine. Well, I'm going to say 10 different ways, but there's different ways of going about doing things, especially like an overall car build, right? You don't have to follow the rules. You can try new stuff. You just got to be willing to take that hit when it doesn't go right. Now, sometimes that happens. It happens to me. We try different things, and sometimes it doesn't work. But I know whenever I was coming up, everything had to be done a certain way. Like if you needed a paint job, you took it somewhere to go get a paint job, or it had to be done professionally. And I watched Papa T coming up. I watched him paint cars, and I watched his technique and how he was doing it. And then I was listening to the way people said it had to be done, and I'm like, but hold up. I'm watching a man do it differently than you say. So why does his work? Well, it works because there's a million different ways to skin a cat, right? And I noticed that it wasn't as hard as everybody liked to make it out to be. And that's the other side of things that you guys need to understand. People are always going to make life or things in general seem harder than what they are. Jesse Workman, thank you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I joke about you being the block breaker, but I can't afford it. So Jesse, yeah, sometimes we'll break one, but we've only actually broken 2 so far, so that's pretty damn good track record. But anyway, you guys get what I'm saying, right? There's so much more that you can do out there. Ford Matt, thank you so much. Hey, brother, how did I win the hat? Should we pass it on? I kind of figured you would say that. I think you were the first one to order the Christmas shirt. Remember when we did the Christmas shirt and I went live? The wife said that you were the first one to order, so you won the free hat. Anyway, you guys, here's where I'm going with this. I get lost and I ramble, but what I want you to know is you can do so much more than what you think you can do. You really can. You're capable of it. And here's why I say that. There was a time right before I started the channel where I didn't have a lot of faith in myself. I didn't believe in myself a lot. Just kind of down and out. I had just went through a horrible divorce and had no money, and it was, I was embarrassed at where I was at in life, and it was rough for me. It was just a rough time, man. And I didn't think the choices that I had made, obviously they didn't work out for me in life. And it led me to this, which was a very horrible spot to be in life. I thought, well, this is it. You're just a piece of shit. You failed. You didn't make it. But that wasn't me. What I was the person that picked himself up by his bootstraps and got out there and made life happen after disaster. That was me. Disaster may come, but how do you respond to it, right? Bad things are going to happen to good people. Bad things are going to happen to you. Builds are going to fail, right? When you're trying to build something, life's going to slap you upside the head. You're going to have IRS knocking at your door. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be a bad father sometimes. You're going to be a bad husband. I mean, we're not perfect, right? But how do you recover from it? That is ultimately who you are as a person, because we're all going to make mistakes. I made mistakes in life just like you guys have, just like everybody has. But the feeling of being worthless, I know there's somebody right now watching this that has that type of feeling. You understand what I'm saying, and you battle with it. Aubrey, you can't be over there shaking. Aubrey's over there shaking her head. No, now I've raised you better than that. No,
I'm just agreeing on what you're
you
saying.
disagree. Okay, so you don't have that same problem, do you?
No.
Okay, all right,
After
good.
all the
Because
talks
I'm
you've
like, hey, we got
given
to
me,
cut the
I'm
live
good.
stream off. We got to work on Aubrey over here. But nobody's worthless. You just haven't found you yet. You haven't found your niche, if you will. And I highly recommend all of you try different things. Man, maybe go play golf. You could be really good at that. Try to paint a car. Try woodworking. Try gardening. I don't know. And all that stuff is important. Look, you could argue that the things that I do are not important. They're really not. I mean, woo, you can paint a car, you can build an engine, you can work on stuff. Now, working on things I think is very important in life because if the shit hits the fan, those are the type of people who the world's going to need. Farmers, people who can fix things, work on stuff, carpenters, mechanics, things like that. But you also got to feel good about yourself. So, hobbies are a great thing. So, if you're really good at golf and you really enjoy it, then go out and do that. That makes you feel good, right? Because we all have moments where we don't feel good about ourselves. And we got to have this one damn thing that we're good at that we can go prove to ourselves that we are who we thought we were. We're better than that, right? Cindy, I wanted to win the hat. Um, Jesse, thank you so much. Jesse says, I really enjoy your channel. Jesse, you don't have to do that. Nobody does. You guys don't have to send money and things like that. But I really do appreciate it. So thank you. Um, Texas, or is that TX, Texas Mustang. Yes, I do battle the negative self-talk, feel like I can't do things right. Well, that's what the internet wants you to feel. The internet loves to come in and beat somebody down. Why? Because they're probably, I don't want to say it. I'm trying to keep it clean tonight. They're probably not a very good person. They probably have low self-esteem in themselves. And the fact that maybe there's something that you didn't do right, or maybe they did better, then they just love to throw that in your face, right? That's the internet. We got people hiding behind IP addresses now, sitting in their living room or in their bed, just typing away on their phones, commenting negative stuff to everybody. Look, here's my thing, and this is not being conceited, this is not being cocky. I know what we've done on this channel has helped people. I know it has. I've heard the comments. I've talked to people in person. Tucker, you're going to have to stop with the phone now. Tucker's over here running into the phone. I know we've helped people. But here's the thing. Occasionally, like I said before, you're going to get a comment or two that makes you ask yourself, I mean, are they right? Are they right? Sometimes they are. Sometimes these hateful comments, you need to hear them because maybe it'll help you out. But most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, it's just people being hateful because they like being hateful. It makes them feel better about themselves, right? I, for one, don't believe in that. I do not do that. And maybe that's why it makes me so mad to read hateful comments. And it pisses me off when I read hateful comments about you guys. Say you're in a forum and you're posting something in there, and then people are being hateful to whoever it may be. It irks me, right? Because I've seen cars that I would never have built myself. Ain't no way. I've seen things and I've listened to people that don't know what they're talking about, posting and stuff, asking questions that maybe they should know. Do I comment and call them stupid or say anything like that? You got to have a shitty ass life. You really got to have a shitty life to go online and find people to talk shit about. Sorry. And if maybe you think you got it all. Maybe you think you're smarter than everybody else. So, look, buddy, here's what I want to tell all of y'all. This is what you need to say to people. This is how you need to feel. I love my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anybody else's life, and we should all feel that way about our own life. I know people go through tough times, right? I go through tough times. I've been drugged through the mud, and now we're kind of at least out of that. But I might end up in that same damn place tomorrow for all we know, but I'll pull myself out of it. But you got to know that there are people out there that are strictly out there to hurt you and beat you down. And they keep you from being great. They keep people from trying new things. I've seen this. I've heard it. I go to work with somebody and I'm like, hey man, all you got to do is just, bend this out of the way and this will work. No, I read somewhere that it says that you can't do that. And really? Well, I've been doing it for 20 years and it just bends out of the way and then you can get to it. Nope. The internet says, I've read it, said you can't do that. And this is the problem. Now, some of this is good information, but some of it is just people who are so scared. You ever been around that person that's so scared to do anything outside of the book? Outside the book of what it says to do, nope, can't do it. Well, those people, I don't need input from you because I can go get a book, right? I can look up torque specs. I can look up things like that. You need to stay off the internet telling people how to do stuff. If you're that scared, don't bother us guys that don't have the money to go out and buy every single part, to do it the right way. And what I mean by that is sometimes you got to make stuff work. But when people are telling you that don't do it that way, that's the cheap way out. You're a hack job. You're this. It gets in your head. So then your build never gets done, right? So you're waiting on that right part when I could have got my shit running 6 months before you because you waited on the right part. You can always change it later. It's just a car. Remember, Fox bodies are like Legos. Somebody actually made that comment not too long ago, and it makes sense. They're Legos. Pull the sumbitch apart and put the good part in there that you want later on. You don't need something safety related, obviously, that's, going to hurt you. You don't need to do that. But at the same time, absolutely get out there and do whatever it takes to get your car going. You guys can do so much more than what you think you can do. I'm telling you, I've learned so much since I've had this channel. I don't know if y'all know this. You OGs, you'll know. When I started this channel, I could do some paint work. Sure, we painted a car. Oh, look at you. So I could do some paint work. I could rebuild an engine. I could do stuff, but there was a lot of little subtle nuances and stuff that I didn't really know. But we had to do it. Because when we got this Calypso, buddy, it took everything I could look up online to find all the knowledge, calling people, asking people. I had to learn. And I had to learn because I had you guys watching, right? So ultimately, there's no camera trickery. There's none of that. Ultimately, when it was said and done, if the car was drivable, if it was good, then I proved my point to you, right? No matter how I went about doing it, no matter how unorthodox it was, you guys could see the results. So see, that's my point. You can't sit there and argue with results. Now, you might want a $100,000 Fox body that's a showpiece that you don't want somebody to cough around. Now, that's what you want. I'm not the guy. But if you want to get your car up and running and going, then I'm your guy. I can help you do that. And I think we've proven that throughout the years. Listen to what I'm saying, because this is not all about me. The things that I'm talking about will affect you as well. It's a mindset. And that's the biggest thing. Jesse, thank you so much, Jesse.
Wesley was asking, how do you keep your motivation for projects even when it feels like work? I feel like I don't enjoy the process, and said I try to rush through the projects before I lose interest. And that's actually interesting because for you, that is a trick question.
Yeah. Okay. That's a really good question.
Even I can answer that. I know you don't.
So I don't know if they could hear you because I got my mic on. Basically, somebody was asking, who was it? Wesley was like, how do you stay motivated? Even when times are tough, and things like that. And how do you do it? That's very, very hard to explain because there's not one set way that I deal with it. I'm dealing with it right now. Actually, I'm really dealing with it. So when we do these videos, church videos, which this isn't really a church video, when we do these videos, a lot of times I need to hear it. So I'm trying to talk to myself as well. Music is huge, a huge thing. I go through different types of music to get me motivated. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Well, your thing is like you will sit down and have to look it up if you really don't know what you're doing, but
Well, looking stuff up is one thing, but motivation is
music is your greatest factor in motivation.
yeah,
Even
music.
if you don't feel like doing it, you do
Bama
it.
50, thank you so much. Um, let me think on that for a second. I want to think of how I can explain this because motivation and depression go hand in hand. And hear me out on the whole depression thing. Every one of us go through slight moments of depression. Okay, I'm not clinically depressed. I'm not like that. Okay, but we go through moments of this unmotivated depression, anxiety. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We go through it. Some people let it eat them up. They let it eat them alive. I just absolutely refuse it. I may take a day or two where I just do nothing, where I just lay around and I'm just like, I don't want to do shit. I don't want to do nothing. And I'll do that. But after about that second day, maybe that third day, I get up and I get after it. And I don't know. I don't know why it's that way for me, but it just seems to always be that way for me. I listen to music. I just come out and I do stuff. That's not the answer you want to hear. But buried inside of that answer or that response is your answer. And it's you just have to find a way. You have to find a way to be motivated. Uh, I don't know. I'm going to say some. We're leaning into a little bit of church here, but I'm trying not to go that route. But um, here's what I'll say: if you're not motivated at the moment, get motivated. Find a way to be motivated. I've had to find a way to be motivated for 8 years, going on 9 years, I guess, whatever it is on YouTube now. I've had to find a way to be motivated. And you might say, oh, well, you get paid by YouTube to do this. So, of course, you're motivated because if you don't put videos out, you don't get paid. Okay? If I don't get paid, the channel doesn't have to go away. But if I don't get paid, so what? It doesn't affect my household. I can still eat. I can still pay my bills. I can still do all this. All the YouTube stuff is strictly shop only. The cars in the shop. That's all YouTube handles. Does not handle that in there. So my point in saying that is, yeah, that's a little bit of motivation to keep that going. But at the same time, if it goes away, I'm still going to eat. My family's going to eat. We're going to be all right. You just got to find a way to do it. Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Murphy's Law said Berger is your motivation.
Yeah, Berger is. Berger.
Berger
Me and
contributes to you losing weight.
Yeah, me and Berger have honestly, we're both unmotivated right now. We got burnt out on his car. That was a lot. It was a lot on his car. So we're dealing with it right now. I'm a little burnt out right now. I'm going to come out here after we do this live stream and I'm going to work on the Calypso and start getting ready to do some paint and body work. And I'm going to share these tips and tricks with you once again. And I expect you guys to put them to use and do some of your own work. But yeah, we got burnt out, man, after his car. But so what are you going to do? Cry about it? Pout? Go fuss to people and say, oh, I'm so tired because I've worked my butt off. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. There's people out there that are welding all through the night, working their ass off, doing construction, waiting tables and doing stuff. I mean, there's people out there working all the time, and they're burnt out. They're burnt out, but they still get out there and do it. Jesse's killing it tonight with that. I'm struggling for many reasons, especially all my time and money and upgrades to run slower than last year. I still have room for adjustment, though. Jesse, thank you for that, by the way, once again. I know the feeling. Jesse, you'll figure it out. But here's the thing. You can't give up. If you give up, nobody gives a shit. They're not going to come up there and pat you on the back and say, oh, man, let me tell y'all a story about Jesse. He tried so hard. I'm so proud of him. Y'all, look at what he did. Look, he failed at what he wanted to do ultimately, but man, he worked his ass off to get here. Old Jesse. No. Nobody's going to write a fucking book about you or a movie about you. So get that out of your head. It's you have to do what you do for you. When you're feeling shitty and you're feeling unmotivated, so get out and figure it out. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm gonna lean into a little church. I can feel it coming. Yeah, let's lean into it a little bit. So there's a lot of you guys that deal with depression. You deal with everything else, right? I understand it. I get it. It's a mental thing, right? This is a real deal thing. But I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about are the ones that use the word and you sling it around all the time. Oh, I'm just depressed today. I'm just get off your ass and go do some work. Figure it out. I don't know what your trigger is. I don't know what makes you happy. I truly don't know. It may be hanging out with family. It may be music. It may be this. It may be a drink. It may be a smoke. I don't freaking know what it is, but you need to figure it out. Because I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. The world don't give a shit about your problems or your depression or your unmotivated whatever. They don't care. You got to figure that shit out, right? So I'm not trying to do this tonight, Aubrey. I'm trying to be nice. I know everybody probably wants a little bit of church, but I don't really want to go there tonight, but I kind of do at the same time.
Murphy's Law says Jim Beam help.
Murphy's Law says Jim Beam helps. Yeah, it does. Look, hey man, I'm not against that. You guys go out, get you a little drink or whatever you got to do or whatever the case may be. Somebody just ordered a shirt, by the way. You do what you got to do, man. Life's freaking tough, and you got to do whatever you got to do to get through it. You just do. My motivation changes from day to day. Sometimes it's just coming home, hanging out with the kids, watching a movie. Like right now, we've been in there watching Smallville again. Just something new, something different. Memphis is getting a little older now, so she can kind of watch stuff like that. So, you got to have little things in life to look forward to. I'll tell you a secret. If you guys want to know a secret to life and how to stay motivated on a daily basis and not absolutely want to jump off a roof, okay? Look forward to something in your life every single day, no matter what it is. Every day, look forward to something. And you say, oh, well, there is nothing. Yes, there is. There's a place you go to lay your head down every night, whether it be a camper because you work construction and you're out of town, whether it be a hotel room, your house, your trailer, your whatever it is with your kids, your wife, not your kids, not your wife. I don't know what you got going on, but every single day there is something that you do. And what you have to do is turn that into a good thing. So when you leave work, and you know what? It could even be work. It could be the fact that you look forward to work because maybe your home life is so bad. Maybe that's the case. I don't care. Either way, one thing a day in your life you look forward to. That's how you stay motivated. That's how you keep yourself from jumping off a damn roof. That's how you do it. You got to find something every day. I don't care how shitty it is. I do it all the time. I'm like, man, I don't want to be at work today. I got to work all week. I'm like, well, you know what? I get to go home. And when I go home, I'm going to stop by the store. I'm going to the grocery store when I get off. Stop by. I'm going to pick up this. What can we make tonight? What can we do with the kids? Like, all right, I'm going to do this. We'll make this up. Come home. Ma'am, come home. We'll cook. We'll watch a movie. Or maybe I come straight out here to the shop and Aubrey comes out with me. The girls, they come out and they're kind of playing around in the background. Maybe me and the wife are kind of doing something inside, Like, you got to make life good. It's your responsibility. You have to figure it out. So I know that that's not an answer for a lot of you, but it should be. Think about what I'm telling you. Find something every single day that you look forward to doing. I don't care what it is. Look, if you're having to sleep in a tent out beside the place where you're digging ditches filled with shit, so at the end of the day, you still get to sleep in that tent, right? You still get to close your eyes, get some rest. And so if nothing else, then look forward to the sleep. Look forward to the rest.
Nine Finger Wrenching said boxes with new parts motivates me. Looking forward to UPS trucks.
Boxes with new parts motivate you until you get a shop full of them. And then that becomes unmotivation. Yeah. So, but it's true though, right? When you get your new parts in, that motivates you. But what I just said though is another big issue for a lot of people. So especially the ones that are just now building their car for the first time, and they're going all out, kind of like what Berger did. You go buy $20,000 worth of parts, and they're just lined up, stacked up against the wall. Eventually, that's going to get to you. Eventually, that's going to bother you. The fact that you have all these parts here, and you start to think about, oh my God, I got to install this and then that, and that's going to take 2 hours to do. That's going to take 10 hours to do. I got to pull the engine out to do this, and all these parts start to become a problem. And it's honestly, it'll stress you out. So be careful on how many parts you order at a time. It's always better to take little bites. You know, like the old saying, how does a mouse eat an elephant? One bite at a time. All right, and that's kind of how you have to do it. Sometimes you need to order your parts that way too. It's something about looking at all the work ahead of you at one time. It's a lot. What we got? You don't see anything worth asking? No? Wait until you're old. Hot Rod Ray, man, old is a mindset to a point, and I think you know what I'm talking about. I could say I'm old now. I feel older than I did when I was 30. I feel older, obviously, than I did when I was in my teens and my 20s. But I know it's going to get worse, right? And motivation comes and goes. Also, as you get older, life's going to change on you. Thank you so much. Joshua Williams just ordered a shirt. Thank you so much. Life's going to change on you. Right now, I still got young kids. Now, I've got almost a 30-year-old and a 7-year-old, right? So I've had that. I've had the kids. I've grown up with kids, or raised kids, and they've grown up and they moved out and they go off to college and they're doing stuff. And then all of a sudden, I got a chance to start over again. At some point, that's going to end for me. And when it does, it's really hard for parents sometimes when their kids are gone. You think, oh man, I can't wait to get rid of them. And then when the kids are gone, man, who are you? That's a question that a lot of people are that's maybe what's going on with some of you right now, right? Your family as you know it is broken up. The kids are gone. You're starting to feel older now. Like, no, there's no more young kids in your life coming, maybe some grandbabies. But things like this make it really hard for people to move on, right? And stay motivated. Well, what do I got to look forward to? Maybe you're retired and you don't feel like you had a purpose anymore. Maybe when you come home, your kids aren't there. Maybe you and the wife aren't getting along too good. Maybe you don't even have a wife. Maybe you don't have a significant other. I understand, but it doesn't matter. It's still your responsibility to find a way to stay motivated and be happy. At some point, it's not all about turning wrenches. At some point, you just want to be happy. I think that's what motivation really is. Motivation is happiness about what it is that you've got to do. Honestly, the shitty thing that you got to do. It's really, I guess that's probably how I would describe motivation. Being happy about something that you've got to do that's probably going to be hard.
Bamba50 says, Brutal, do you have all the boxes stacked up behind your shop again?
I did. We've burnt so many boxes. I did have all of them stacked up back there. I still got some. But yeah, and that's kind of, I guess, my point, right? So if you took all the boxes that we've installed, all the parts from just this year, and you line them up against the wall, it would absolutely fill this entire wall. Like, I mean, everything, right? Hundreds upon hundreds of boxes. And somebody said, you got to install all this. You'd be like, shit, man. Then your brain starts turning you like, oh my God, how long is it going to take to do this? And you don't even want to do it anymore. That's why you take life one day at a time. Be careful when you order your parts as well. Don't order too many at one time. Don't try to do your full bill. Or if you do, hide them from yourself, But you got to take life one day at a time.
Are you answering questions just like any question?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, she's reading comments.
What are your thoughts on the AFM N41 camshaft?
All right. So DTZ07, the Anderson N41 is a great camshaft. I would compare it. Anderson's not going to like this. Donnie B won't agree, but kind of compare it to like a B cam, something like that, similar. You can run an N41 and stock bottom end car. They're really good camshafts. I'm going to be honest with you though. I really like a B21 camshaft. I like the way it sounds, and you get a pretty good damn bit of extra power from it as well. But there are some differences with it. You're going to need a different push rod length, so you kind of got to deal with that. But yeah, I like pretty much all the Anderson cams. I like. And you can run the B series cams, the boosted cams in NA cars, and you can also run NA cams in boosted cars.
Uncle T said 1 day at a time, but make every day count.
Yeah, 1 day at a time, but make every day count. Exactly. There's a lot to be said about it. And I'm not really on my game tonight as far as like really trying to motivate you guys and explain it to you. Just know that we all go through issues. We can all do more than what we actually do. We get lazy, and we let people get in our heads, and we let people tell us what we can and can't do, and it's all bullshit, every bit of it. I mean, I never thought that I would be doing what I'm doing right now years ago. I would never have thought it because people, back then you had to go to school for this type of shit, But here we are doing it. I've watched the boys, and I'm going to call them the boys, grow throughout the years on the channel. Andrew, Hunter, Berger, Seth, just all the people that have helped throughout the years on the channel. I've watched these young men, Benny even, grow and become better at what they do. And there's a sense of confidence that comes with that too, that can be applied to anything in life. It doesn't have to be cars. I'm very proud of them. They never thought they would be doing what they do. Berger probably never thought he would be where he's at with the knowledge that he's got and the capabilities that he's got now. But here he is. Don't give him too much credit, though.
ARF heads or SVE for a street car?
AFR?
ARF heads
AFR.
or SVE for a street car?
It doesn't matter. Either one. Does not matter. And another thing that I want to say is don't get caught up in a bigger head being too big for a street car. Man, if you can slap a 205cc head on a damn stock bottom end, then go do it. It's fine. You can always upgrade later and utilize that head a little bit more. We actually used to do that it's kind of like a trick when we street raced back in the day. We would overhead and overcam our engines so that they didn't make a lot of torque because we didn't have the tire technology that we got now. So we put us a decent set of tires on there. Maybe I think the BFG, I can't even remember what they were back in the day that we used. Maybe it was Nitto, but put them on there and you'd kill a little bit of that low end torque. And then when you would hit it, the car would leave out kind of soft and then the power would come in. Anyway, there was really no specific head that I recommend. Just get you a good head. You'll be all right. It's going to make power. We got SVE, what were those, the 170s on the Retro Fox, and that damn thing screams, man. It runs so good. You could put a set of AFRs on it if you wanted to. You'd be good.
HLR Saloon said if it wasn't for you, Caleb, Danny, and Infamous, I wouldn't even think about tackling these Fox buddies.
Correct. 6-speed Mike. BFG G-Force. That was the tire. Thank you. So I appreciate that. Who was that said that?
That was HLR Saloon.
HLR Saloon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we try to motivate people for sure. You know what I mean? We got to. That's our jobs. I want you out there doing shit that you never thought you could do before. I want you to have faith in yourself. That's what I want you to do to the haters, right? I want you to go out there and prove to the world that, y'all told me I couldn't do this, but look at me. Look at me. That's what I want from you guys. So yeah, I'm glad that all these channels are motivating you guys. I love it. That's what we should be doing. We got to keep this car community, the Fox community especially, alive and going, right? We can't be hating on each other. We can't be assholes to each other and not wanting to help pass this knowledge around, which we do. Our community is great at that. But make sure we keep doing this because it motivates people. Look, at some point, the Fox body won't be as popular as what it is. And that's just the nature of the world. That's just humans. We're going to get tired of these cars and it'll be something else. It may be 50 years before it happens, but it'll happen, right? So for right now, just enjoy it. Try to spread the knowledge and the love and the passion to the younger group because we're going to need these cars taken care of once we're too old to work on them.
I just, Hot Rod Ray said you should have seen the 4-inch wide tires we had in 64.
The 4 what now?
4-inch wide tires.
Oh, the 4-inch wide tires we had in 64. I bet. Those are some really cool days, man. Well, I mean, I wasn't around in 64, but I've seen movies and stuff. Hanlon Motorsports said Zach painted his own engine bay because of the channel. And it's true, he did. He did a damn good job. So that's what I'm talking about, man. Just stop bitching and moaning and complaining about this and that and just do shit, man. I don't care. I like watching the channels where these guys are out there. Maybe they don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of resources and they are getting after it. Just fixing stuff left and right. And it might not look the best, but man, they're using it. And I think to myself, that's cool. That's the essence of hot rodding. That's how all of this stuff started right here. Hot Rod Ray can tell you if he was, I don't know how old Hot Rod Ray is, but obviously he's been around for a while. That was the essence of hot rodding. That's how it started, was robbing parts off this and that, building this, building that, making your own stuff, putting it together. There you go. And I think that's so cool. We've gotten away from that now. We like to just buy new parts and put stuff on there and then, ooh, it looks like everybody else's. I'm guilty of it as well, especially with that 21 out there. I made that car look just like what everybody else did with their car. But at least with the Fox bodies, there's going to be a little bit of customizing you're probably going to have to do. You're going to make it your own regardless.
If you could build one car, what would it be?
If you don't get off my camera, bro, we'll kill him. Get on now. If I could build one car, what would it be? I don't know. I don't know what that car would be. If I could build one car, what would it be? Possibly a Pantera. Yeah, possibly. I built 351 Cleveland, like twin turbo, or maybe like a root style. Like if I could build anything, we're saying just anything, probably be a custom Pantera with a 351 Cleveland built, stroked, but like 1,100 horsepower, streetable. Like, I don't know. That'd probably be the car.
Hanlon said he's driven. He built a Yote swap Fox body.
Bill want to wipe my ass with. A boat anchor.
Out of all your builds, what's your personal favorite? And that's OG Superfly.
OG Superfly in the house. Out of all my builds, what's my favorite? Probably the 65. I mean, for good reason. I'll say this, they all are my favorite for different reasons and in different ways. And I think everybody can understand that and appreciate it. I don't have one favorite. It depends on the day. But I guess if you ask me, like, you had to get rid of all cars but one, all your cars but one, which one would you keep? It would be the 65, period. So, yeah, I've got, memories since I was a little kid in this car. We've had it since I've been alive. So, yeah, the 65, and then probably the Calypso would be next out of my favorite builds. And simply because, no, see, you're shaking your head, but it's not about which car's prettier, which car's this and that. That Calypso tested me to the max. I was very ill-equipped to build that car when I built that car, but damn it, I said I'm going to do it because I said I can, and I wanted to show you guys that I could pull it off. I was nervous, I was scared, but I did it. and I proved to myself and to everybody else that we could do it. So that car meant a lot to me to get done. The retro, as much as I love it, was not really a build. The engine's never been out of that car, not one time. It's never been out of that car. The rear end, I did rebuild the rear end in it, but it's basically like we just cleaned it up, right? Put some interior in it. I painted it. We slapped a supercharger on it, changed the heads, but it's not really a build, in my opinion. Not to the level of some of these other cars that we built. But the retro is definitely third for sure. It's maybe a tie between the two, Calypso and retro. Yeah. And then Pop's truck's right there too. It just depends on the day. Huh? Pop's truck's cool, but I can't. It's not really a build. I didn't really do anything with that truck. We lowered it, put some wheels on it, cleaned it up. It's not a build. The Coyote's definitely not a build.
You don't need crazy money to have fun. You, Mia, and 50 Tussin show us that. Thank you.
Absolutely, JC. So 50 Tussin he's the man. I know he doesn't get into like the YouTube stuff like we do and things like that, but I do have a lot of respect for Rodney and the way he does stuff. Man, he goes out and beats the shit out of these cars and goes faster than I'll ever go. Like, that's kind of the benchmark. I don't think you guys know this, but I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but he kind of pushes me to do better because this dude's out here going sixes with stock bottom end cars, just driving the wheels off of them. Granted, they're lightened up for sure, but they're manual cars, and he's just driving them. He's leaving on the rev limiter, and he's like, so that proves to me that we got a lot of room to grow with like the Calypso. I was very happy with the Calypso until I got to thinking, what if I'd have given this car, like what if I put it in Rodney's hands? What would it do? Dude, he'd probably go 640 with it, leave on the rev limiter. If nothing broke, it hooked. So, to be honest with you, if he can do it, I can do it. Probably not, but I'm going damn sure try. You get what I'm saying? That's got to be your mindset. And I think that's a very healthy mindset. If somebody else can do it, then I can do it. And if it's something you own, like your car, and you're trying to race this thing, and you think you're good, ask yourself, can somebody get in my car and drive it better than me, run a faster time than me? And if you say yes, if your answer is yes, then you got some work to do, buddy, because nobody should be able to get in your car and go faster than you. That's the way I look at it.
Handler said manual swapping the Carbon Fox would be sick.
Manual swapping it would be really cool, actually, but do we need another freaking car on the channel? I don't know. I'm getting overwhelmed with cars around here. So, I don't know. We may do a giveaway on the Carbon Fox. Would you guys be interested in that if we did a waffle on the Carbon Fox? It would not be a cheap waffle, obviously. Generate some more money for the channel. Probably, if we do it, it'd probably be next year, early next year. We might do a waffle on it. I'm not sure if we'll do it or not. I love that car. It's just got too many. You
got a lot of yes. Count me in, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, Akeem is asking, would you ever buy another Terminator?
Probably not with the prices. I don't know if you guys can hear her or not, so I'll repeat. Did you say it was Akeem? So Akeem asked if we would ever buy another Terminator. Probably not due to the pricing of them, but I'd love to have another one for sure. I'd like to have a solid black one, lowered on 18-inch AFS 03 Cobra wheels, staggered, right? That's it. Not the chrome AFS like 03 Cobra wheels, like the machined finish 18-inch version of them, lowered, stanced out just right, blacked out windows, pulleyed, E85 headers. There you go. I would love that. But will that ever happen? Nah. I don't really. The Terminators were great, but here's the thing with a Terminator. I have figured this out. It's like when you watch videos of people talking about how the Terminator changed the whole game, and it was the Hellcat of the 2000s, and it was. I mean, it was the original Hellcat, which I shouldn't even. I don't even want to throw that term in there. It was its own thing. But when you watch it, it's so like you just want to have one. You want to own that piece of history, right? I catch myself every once in a while. I'll see something and I'll watch it like, oh my God, yeah, those cars are so cool. I'd love to have one. But then when you get it, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not that they're not cool. It's like you're limited. Like it's a great car, but you're limited because here was my issue with like Yellow Wolf and Bad Apple. When you put that blower on them, you're on borrowed time. You have to be extremely careful if you're going to push the envelope because you don't want to be rebuilding one of those engines. And they have their own sets of issues. And that was always in the back of my mind because those engines are not easy to come by anymore. Versus a Coyote, if you blow that thing up, I mean, yeah, Gen 3 Coyote is not the most cheap thing out there in the world, but I can find one, right? That Terminator was always in the back of my mind, like, don't blow it up. Don't tear it up. So I always felt like I was a little limited. And you see people back in the day making 1,000 horsepower with the Terminators. But, man, you can't drive around beat the shit out of them all day, every day, like you can with the Coyotes and stuff like that. I mean, these cars pretty much will take that beating. My car, so I don't know if you guys know it or not, but Yellow Wolf, I got rid of it, and shortly after, I think it made 801 or 805 to the tires, and something happened to the engine. So
Wesley's asking, what are your thoughts on Micro Squirt versus SCT4 Bank versus Quarter Horse?
I would go with Micro Squirt or Mega Squirt before I went with the Moats. And I used to recommend the Moats, but that was back when we had support for it, but we don't really have a lot of support anymore. So I would recommend Mega Squirt personally.
Rhino said, will you tell my son Lycan to get off his ass and fix his 92 GT?
Get off your ass and fix your 92 GT. Seriously, you can do it. Anybody that's doubting themselves right now and you're sitting there, you know, you're on your couch and just like, yeah, whatever. I don't want to hear this shit again. Get up! Get up. Get off your ass. Just go make it happen. Look, we even made Tucker get up. Scared the shit out of him. He got up. He was unmotivated. He was sitting here under my feet. Unmotivated. And all of a sudden, pew, he's up. Look, he's looking at the chickens. He wants to go fight now. You just got to get up. You just got to get up and make life happen. I don't give a shit. Slap yourself upside the face. Do whatever the hell it is you got to do. But it's on you to get up and go do shit. It might suck. It might hurt. Your back may be sore. You may have this. But if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But don't bitch and don't fuss about, oh, I wish I had more time to do. If I hear that one more time from somebody, I wish I had the time you have. People actually say that to me. Well, I'll ask them. I'm like, hey man, you ever finish your car? Or did you ever do it? I ain't had time. I don't have time like you. Can you believe that? There are literally people out there that don't have YouTube channels and don't have families. They just got honeydews. Just honeydews. Just honeydews in church and golf, I guess. And they can't get things done because they don't have time. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what's wrong with people. You make excuses. You don't have time. Well, I don't have time. I really don't have time. But we make it happen. And it is what it is. You want some shit done, go out there and do it. Then you'll feel good about yourself. Then you will. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. Some of you just too out of fucking shape to get out here and do something. I know what's going on with you. I get it. You just tired. Put that fucking candy bar down. Put that Yoo-hoo down. And get your ass out there and get some work done. Seriously, listen to me. Get off your ass. You're killing yourself. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. It's cold outside. It is what it is. Go your ass out there and do what you need to do. When it's hot outside, go sweat it out, baby. Go get it done. You will feel better as time goes on. Do you understand what I'm saying? You will. It will get better. It's supposed to suck. When you're lazy and you're out of shape and you, that sucks. That's why you don't want to do it. That's why you want to sit there and watch Netflix all day. That's why you want to make the excuse about, I don't have time. Because it sucks. You think I like doing it? I'm getting older. Guys, I've been doing this shit my entire life, not just since YouTube. My entire life. I'm starting to slow down, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. But I'm not going to be a lazy piece of shit that just sits around all day and never does anything. So I'm at that point where I'm starting to battle with myself already. But I get my ass up and I get out here and I get stuff done. I get work done. I get it done when it sucks. And you can too. Now you can lay around all you want to and feel sorry for yourself. Don't come on here bitching. Don't bitch to your coworkers or your friends. Oh, wish I could get my car going. Or whatever you got going on in life. So, hey, you want to be lazy? Be lazy. I ain't got no issue, but don't bitch about it. Okay? Don't be upset. What's up?
Whitetail Fox said that 5 hours you sit on your phone per night could be wrenching.
It could be. It really could be. Look, I'm not saying work yourself to death. Okay? Understand that you have to have a break. I told you earlier, I can't speak. I might take 1 to 2 days typically. Okay. I might take 1 to 2 days where I just chill out and I don't do anything. I'll lay around the house and you know what? It's okay. But I know I will get up and I will get motivated and I will make it happen. I know I will eventually. Sometimes you got to take a break. There's nothing wrong with that. But your whole life can't be a freaking break. You can't just lay around all the time and do absolutely nothing. Nothing productive. I don't even... I'm trying not to go there tonight, but I really kind of want to. Sometimes it's good to get your ass chewed out, but I don't really want to go there tonight. We'll do church. We'll do church another night. But seriously, you guys got to get up and you got to stop feeling sorry for yourselves. You got to stop letting people tell you what you can and can't do. I think that's a big issue right now, right? With everybody, you're scared to post something. You're scared to ask a question. You're just, it just sucks. Like the world today sucks to ask for anything, like to ask for help or to post that you don't know what's going on. It's a horrible freaking place, but do it anyway. Ignore the assholes, get the information that you need, and go out there and get shit done. Well, look, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I'm sorry, this wasn't the best live stream. Sometimes, I have a good idea in my head about how things are going to go, and then, they don't end up going that smooth. But I wasn't necessarily in my zone tonight, but it's not really what this was about. I wanted to just kind of come out and remind you guys that you can do more. You're more than what people say you are. And just remember, just look back through the channel, through all the years of all the stuff that we've done, and read the comments. Read the comments of the people who have done things that they never thought they would be able to do. I want you to see that because some of you need to see it. And also, remind you to get off your ass and go do some work. You'll feel better. The first day may suck. You may feel bad. Second day, probably going to feel worse. But after about that third, fourth, fifth day of doing something, doing work, doing something strenuous, you'll be all right. You start to feel better. Listen to some music. Don't sit here. Nobody tell me that music doesn't matter. Music does matter. You find you some good music, you get motivated, and you get after it, okay? Post pictures. That's something else I advise you guys to do. Post pictures of your car. If you've busted your ass and you've worked hard, post some pictures. Yes, there's going to be haters. There's always haters. So who cares? No, we do care. Post your pictures of your car after you bust your ass, after you do something. You're proud of yourself, post them up. You know what? The internet's out there. We might as well use it to our advantage, right? And there's plenty of people out there lying about their lives and pretending like, they have the best life ever, posting everything on Facebook, right? Instagram. Look at me. And their lives, it's all fake. That's bad. Don't use Facebook, Instagram, social media for that. But use it to post your accomplishments, whatever it is. Yeah, we'd like to see it. Maybe you motivate somebody else. I busted my ass all day long, but boy, I got this fender polished out. Look, it had a big dent and I fixed it. I did this. I got my car running. I blew a head gasket and look, here we are. I'm proud of you. Proud of you. I like it. Post it up. Let people know that you're out there working because you'll motivate them to go work as well. Aubrey, should we wrap this up? We should. Aubrey says we have to wrap it up. Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap it up, y'all. We're going to do an actual church here pretty soon. I can feel it coming. It's brewing. It's brewing. No pun intended. Love you guys.